In 1854, with the publication of his masterpiece, Walden, Henry David Thoreau boasted that he had traveled much in Concord. For many years, as he said, he was self-appointed inspector of Concord snowstorms and rainstorms, and did his duty faithfully. 100 years later, Esther Howe Anderson, a charter member of the Thoreau Society, and like Thoreau, a native and lifelong resident of Concord, reading in Thoreau's works and then following his footsteps with her camera in hand, photographed through his eyes the beauties of the gentle Concord landscape. If Thoreau reported seeing the pink lady slipper blossoming in the pine woods of Conantum on May 31st, Esther went out to Conantum on May 31st, found the descendants of Henry's flowers, and photographed them. If Thoreau reported seeing a double rainbow, or a sundog, or a rare albino cardinal flower, Esther searched, often for years and years, until she had found one and photographed it. And she was not satisfied with just one photograph. She photographed the same scenes over and over until she got exactly the effect she wanted, the effect that Thoreau had described. She began taking these photographs for her own pleasure, but as word spread around, she began first showing them to a few close friends. I remember many a joyous evening spent at her 9-acre corner farm, reveling in their beauty. Later, we were able to persuade her to share them with the members of the Thoreau Society at their annual meetings in Concord. And still later, she began showing them professionally around New England. Luckily, she did her photographic work in what Thoreau would have described as the very nick of time. Concord in Thoreau's day was a sleepy little village of 2,000. Now, its population is 10 times that. In the great push to the suburbs of Boston of 30 or 40 years ago, much of the quiet ruralness of Concord disappeared. Conantum became a housing development. Walden Pond was overwhelmed with as many as 15,000 swimmers on a hot summer weekend. Superhighways bisected the countryside. With the coming of the Dutch elm disease, the beautiful wine-glass American elms disappeared from the landscape. Farmers gave up horses and took up tractors. With the coming of refrigerators, people abandoned the harvesting and storing of ice. The whole way of life changed. But photographing in the 1930s, the 40s, and the 50s, Esther caught the old ways of life before they disappeared, and the beauties of the Concord landscape before so much of it was destroyed. Thus, she has enabled us to see a Thoreau country that is now gone forever.
First, I wish to say that I have not come here to talk about Henry David Thoreau's philosophy or his purpose or aim in life. But I do wish to show you pictures of the countryside where he spent most of his life and took pleasure in walking, and from which he drew the inspiration for his writings. With each picture, I shall give a quotation. As he said, "I have traveled a good deal in Concord." It was on July 4th, 1845, that he went to Walden Pond, where he spent 2 years and 2 months in a house which he built himself. He said, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life. I dug my cellar in the side of a hill sloping to the south. And I wish so to live ever as to derive my satisfactions and inspirations from the commonest events, everyday phenomena, so what my senses hourly perceive, my daily walk, the conversation of my neighbors may inspire me, and I may dream of no heaven but that which lies about me."